Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, Season 8, Episode 2. Fasten your seatbelts. And yeah, that's fasten your seatbelts because this was a this was a wild ride. So yeah. So let's get things started. The first couple I want to talk. We met a new couple in this episode. We met Aviva and Stig. And Aviva is 26 from Arizona, and Stig is a rapper, a well-known rapper in Belize. Where have I heard that before? Yeah, where have I heard a rapper, an international superstar rapper before? Just say, asking for a friend. So we met, and Aviva said that she met Stig. I think he no, she DM. I guess she was a super fan. Where have I heard that before too? Basically, because Aviva has an aunt that actually lived in Belize, and who was married to Belize, and we'll talk about her in a minute. And she's heard about Stig, and then somehow the paths that just crossed that way, and Aviva started listening to Stig's music, and then reached out to him. And out of all the girls that's after him, he chose her and everything. So we've seen Aviva with her family talk about how she's preparing to go to Belize and everything. Hope it works out with this guy named Stig. And Aviva's aunt, I think her name was Spring, said that she was married to a guy from Belize for years, but is going through a divorce because I guess this guy uh, was on the news, getting arrested with another woman that obviously that he was cheating on her with. So she's going through a divorce with that, and the aunt said that she's heard a lot about Stig, and how in a recent concert he invited this girl out. I forget what her name was. And she said that he wrote a song about this girl that he brought out to his concert, and was saying how much "Baby I Love You" in the song and everything, and talk about this girl and everything. Now, Aviva, I keep saying Aviva is saying that she don't really believe that, and that he's like really genuine and everything. But yeah, this guy wrote a song for another girl and brought the girl to the concert and stuff and everything. I could believe it because, again, don't this sound familiar? Don't this sound familiar? This is another Usman and Kimberly situation. No, Usman and Kimberly and baby girl Lisa situation. This is how we were introduced to Usman. So now this Stig guy, this Aviva and Stig, it's just another Kimberly, Lisa, and Usman situation. Because remember when Usman wrote that song for Zara, and that he invited Kimberly out to do the music video with and everything, and he lied to say, "Oh, this is just for all the Zaras out in the world," and Kimberly was naive about it. So yeah, but Aviva said that she doesn't want to believe that, and thinks that he's genuine. So she prepares for her trip to Belize. She packs up to go to the airport. In a prior conversation, Aviva and Stick were having on video chat, and he said that he really wants some Chinese food from America. So like grilled shrimp and stuff and everything. So Aviva went to go and get some like grilled or fried shrimp or whatever and everything, and to put it in a bag for 2 flights. That's disgusting because That's not you got to go through like two flights to the airport for and to bring food and stuff and everything. That's not going to be that's going to spoil. That's nasty. She already said it smells bad too and everything. When she was at the airport, the producers asked, "How's the food?" And she's like, "It's already leaking, and I'm hungry, so it's not helping." And she gets on the airplane to head to Belize. Yeah, this is gonna be another Kimberly Usman situation. Like you guys listen. All these couples are so familiar from previous couples. Yeah, this is the only downfall about this season so far is that there's just so much similarities to previous couples from the show that we need a break from. But a lot of these couples are just replicating storylines and everything and looks from previous castmates from previous seasons. So yeah, but that was Aviva and Stig. Next couple I want to talk is Rick and Trisha. So Rick is on his way to Madagascar to meet his Madagascar queen and everything. We met Trisha in this episode. She talked about her tribe and everything. She says she has an aggressive tribe. If they don't like something, they like go like duke it out outside basically, and then it's all good and everything. And she says that but her area is her neighborhood's like a peaceful neighborhood and everything. Now, Rick, I do have to say this. There was a story that leaked out last week about Rick. Now, remember last week when we met Rick, he has like 5 kids, and 3 of them are, teenagers, and he has 2 babies and 2 little ones and stuff and everything. Apparently, years ago, I think it was back in 2013, um, one of Rick's babies, one of his kids actually got passed away, and the kid passed away from his Rick's mother's boyfriend. I guess Rick's mother's boyfriend had, basically killed his baby and stuff and everything. That story broke out last week. We read about it. It was a heartbreaking story. You guys can just go read it. Just go read it. I'm not going to go into in depth about it because it was sad. It was very sad just reading the story about what happened and everything. But I felt so bad for Rick. I don't know if that is going to be brought up throughout the season and everything, but just hearing the story about one of Rick's children passing away due to his mother's boyfriend and everything, it's disgusting. It's sad, and yeah. So I'm gonna tread lightly, but until he actually mentions it on the show, we'll just continue with how he's acting right now on the show. So also last week, now you guys know on Friday nights at 8 o'clock, they always show the episode again, but they always have like bonus clips from the episode. It's called basically they call it more to love basically, and I watched the bonus clip for on Friday of Rick, and this is not the first time Rick has brought a foreign is involved with a foreigner. Rick's last relationship, his recent 2 kids and stuff from his previous marriage and stuff, was from a girl from Nigeria. Basically, we seen her come and get the kids and everything, and he told his ex that he was going to Madagascar and everything, and he had mentioned that his ex is a Nigerian woman and stuff and everything. So this isn't Rick's first rodeo, obviously. But nonetheless, Rick arrived. This episode, he arrives in Madagascar. Um, Trish is waiting on him. He gives like a big hug and said, "I love you, baby, more than you ever know." They had their little airport moment. "I love you, baby," and everything and all that. And when Trisha saw him, she ran and lost her shoes and everything. She was like, "I didn't even realize I lost my shoes," because I was just so like intrigued on seeing Rick, basically. And so after the airport, they get into the car and everything, And Rick, my issue with Rick is that he is a little bit jealous, and he's a little bit like uptight with it, with everything, because he even said that, you know what, he's basically claiming his territory. I see, because with Trisha is a prize basically, so I'm gonna have to let these other guys know basically that she's mine. And so they had a conversation about Trish not texting back as soon as she gets home on certain things because she's cooking and cleaning and everything, and all that. And Rick is still back in the mind when she ghosted him for 5 days. Last week he had mentioned that she had ghosted him for 5 days. And now Rick also has a secret that he did something in those 5 days that he has to tell Trish. He hasn't said what it was, but I think we all know he probably called another girl over and got his groove on, just as a put a band-aid on something. That's probably it. I hope I'm wrong, but that's probably the reason why. So nonetheless, Trish was like, you need to start trusting me more and everything. And Rick was like, I see why Trish is so mad, is upset at me and not trusting her anymore, but I got my reasons. But anyway, they decided to go to a hotel. Rick had booked a hotel for them to stay at because he told Trisha that he does not want to stay at her house because it does not have air conditioning or hot water, basically, and everything. And he needs that. As much as I agree with Rick and probably would be the same way, I probably would be the same way. I can't say nothing. I probably would want to stay at a hotel with the AC because remember, we're in Africa. Madagascar is in Africa, and Africa is a really hot continent. so I can't say nothing with that. And people are gonna think, oh, that's rude. He needs to go man up and respect our culture, respect our home and everything. But certain things and everything, there's a couple little things where my spoiled American self will just can't just it's just not going to compromise on. Sorry. There's not much. There's really not much. I will compromise with a lot of things, but I think something like that in particular, I see Rick's point. But anyway, they go to the hotel and, they want to shower. Trisha goes first and everything. And then after she gets out the shower, then Rick goes in, and then she comes out in like her underwear basically. And Rick comes out in his towel and everything. And they just ready to get their groove on. And they start kissing, and then they ask the camera crew to leave, and and they got their groove on, more than likely. So yeah, there's a lot of chemistry there, but this is not going to work. I'm sorry. Early predictions, this is not going to work. Sorry. So that was Rick and Trisha. Next couple I want to talk is freaking Emma and Zia. Now, Emma got on my nerves last week, and she's still kind of getting on my nerves this week. Emma, remember what happened last week when Emma arrived to Morocco? Zia had told her that they're not going to be affectionate, basically, after he had told her that they were on previous conversations and stuff and everything. So just like 5 minutes from getting off the plane and meeting each other, they were already fighting and everything, and she already done walked off. So in this episode, they're still like iffy about it and everything. So he takes her bags and everything. They're going back and forth on who's carrying the bags. And no, you carry, or you go first. This, and that, and everything. It was just pointless and everything. Zia was upset that that she had already left them the moment she got there, and be like you just got here and you left me already. Like, what the heck and everything. So all Emma is thinking is like, why aren't they going to be like affectionate and intimate like he said that they were? And as I said multiple times last week, I know what he said. He did lie. Yes, he did lie. He did lie. But you should already know it was a lie, because everyone knows that Morocco is like one of the most conservative countries, and it is and I mentioned, I'm going to keep mentioning this. When we see Nicole and Azin's relationship over the years, It is illegal to show when you're not married to show PDA. You know, Nicole Naslin almost got arrested, almost because because of that. So it is illegal. So I don't know why she was expecting more and everything. Yes, he lied, but even when he was lying and saying that, yeah, they would be like kissing and, you know, being intimate and stuff and everything, she should have just been like, you know, I know you're lying, but but just prove me wrong. But because just saying. But anyway, they get in the car. They go to the place that they're staying. It was a really nice place. Like they had like, you know, they had like a little lounge area and everything. You know, it really did look pretty cool, look romantic. They're trying to basically just relieve the tension from their little rocky start that they had at the airport and everything. And one of the one of the servers at the place that they're staying actually brought them a Moroccan dinner and everything. And when they were having their dinner, once again that conversation was brought up. So Emma was just like, so we're not gonna do, what can we do as boyfriend and girlfriend? And he said, we can't do anything more than just hug and kiss. We can be together and hug and stuff and everything and kiss, or kiss on the cheek, I should say, kiss on the cheek. And then she was just like, oh, that's not what you said and everything. And now she was just like, you know, a while ago something did happen with me and Zia. So last week Emma said that when she caught her ex-boyfriend Mohammed, she would go on his social media and message every single girl that he was following, and then one of them was in a relationship. Well, Emma decided to do that again with Zia. She went on his social media. He's following thousands of girls and everything, and she decides to message them. And one of them said that she was talking to him. And she said that she did confront Zed about it. He said that his messages were old and that he didn't cheat on her. But she's starting to think that now that he's just acting the way he is and everything, that maybe he is in a relationship with one of them and feels guilty about cheating or something with something. It's just ridiculous. And Ziad has said there's just a lot I'm going to have to learn about Emma, basically. And Ziad even has said that, why are you so more, like, there's more to a relationship than sex, basically, like connection and everything. And she's like, yeah, I want a connection more than sex, but, and then he was like, then why we keep having this conversation, basically? Because you said that we would and everything. So Emma's just coming really across as disrespectful at this point. You know, I mean, I'm sorry that you're not going to get the affection that you wanted and everything, but you should have known that, and you have experience in Morocco. You should have known that. I don't care what he said. Now yes, like I said, he did lie. Not taking that. He is a liar. And as a matter of fact, this Zia guy gives me Osama vibes. He gives me vibes from, remember Osama and Miss Debbie when we first met Miss Debbie on season 4 the other way? He gives me Osama vibes a little bit. Just saying. So again, once again, another similarity to another couple from the past. So yeah, that was Emma and Zia. Like they're not gonna make it. I already know they're not gonna make it. And the last couple I want to talk is Forrest and Sheena. Oh my God, Forrest! I'm gonna like this couple. I like Forrest and Sheena, but I'll tell you what, Forrest is mob. So when we met Forrest last week, as we all know, he has all them security cameras, and he's been dating Sheena for 7 years, and he finally saved enough money to go to the Philippines. And we forgot to mention that you said you just now getting money to go to the Philippines, and you spend all that money on security cameras so she could watch you. Just saying. So last week it was revealed that, you know, Forrest and Sheena were trying to save money for a visa and everything. But it was revealed that Sheena was giving her money to her parents because her parents are very manipulative and everything. And I guess she had lied about it before and everything, and it just caused some problems. Well, in this episode, we first seen we did get to meet Sheena. Like we seen Forrest and Sheena like dancing on video chat. They like to do these little dance workouts to to get themselves more in shape and everything. It was it was a little weird, but they were doing it. They were working out together online and stuff, doing a little dance. And then Forrest, after they were done, he was like, I can't wait to work out with you. And then after we work out, we should go get some cake. Yeah, yeah, nice little workout and go get some sugary sweets for your reward. Yeah, typical diet plan. Typical diet plan. Oh my goodness. So anyway, so Forrest told Sheena that as you know, my mom's coming, my stepdad's coming, and everything. They do have some concerns about everything that has transpired and everything, and Sheena's not really saying nothing. But then 3 days later, as Forrest is getting ready to go to the airport to leave for the Philippines, he gets a text from Sheena saying that she had gave all the money, once again, gave all that money to her parents again. And he is devastated. He was like, this is almost on breakup level because she lied about this again. And, he's upset that she lied, but he keeps saying that, even though she lied, her parents are manipulative because she keeps saying that if they don't give, if she don't give them the money, that she's going to be kicked out on the street and everything. So he wants to believe her, but he's really irritated with the lying. So of course he told his mom. The mom is pissed off. She even said she in a text saying like, "You're a liar. You broke his heart. Like I told him he should dump you right now and everything." I'm like, okay, mom, chill, 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 and everything. But they're still going to the Philippines, and they get to the airport, and Forrest's stepdad, he was like, what, let's just give her a chance and let's see what the culture is about. Let's just like give her the benefit of the doubt and everything. And Forrest is like, I love my stepdad. He's been with me since 12. He's really like actually like my father, basically, and everything. And he doesn't talk much, but when he talks, it's phenomenal. He's really good with his words and stuff and everything. So Forrest and his mom and stepdad, they have 3 flights to get. They had to get on 3 flights in order to get to Manila, and they had never been on a flight before, so they had to get to San Francisco, and they just like the mom was just goofing off at the whole airport and everything, and their seats were not together on the first flight, so the mom was like waving to her husband like, "Hey," on the other side and everything, and everybody was like looking at him like, like, "Hey, woman, what are you doing?" and stuff and everything. And so they fly to San Fran, and then they had to fly from San Fran to Hong Kong, and everything. And they just goofing off, just being embarrassing, embarrassing himself and everything. And Forrest just like, can we just get there in peace, please? Because these flights are just getting on my nerves. And Forrest is clearly frustrated with his mom already and everything. He is frustrated. He's just like, can we just get there in peace and everything? So they get to Hong Kong, and then on our way to Manila. As they're flying to Manila, we actually get to meet Sheena. And Sheena is actually a doctor. She's actually a veterinarian, basically, and everything. I thought she was jobless, but she's actually a veterinarian. And well then no. No, okay. I can't say that. I guess she was jobless because if she was, then she wouldn't give her money to the parents. My bad. My fault. My fault. Usually, when we meet the girls from the Philippines, they usually are like salon workers. Like Rose and Faith from last season, and Mary from before. So, but Sheena is a veterinarian and everything, and she's actually 40 years old. Until after I watched last week's episode, I didn't realize that she was actually 7 years older than Forrest, basically. But we met Sheena. She talked about her job and everything. Then she talked about her relationship with Forrest and stuff and everything. Um, she said that she considers herself a lonely person. She's basically an introvert, basically, and everything. But Forrest is getting her out of her shell and everything. Um, she did say she really felt bad about the lie and about the money, giving the money to the parents, and she started crying when talking about it. And then she read the text messages that Forrest's mom sent her and everything, and which was really disgusting and everything. Forrest's mom, that's not your place right now. Now, if you want to get to the bottom of that, you wait till you get there. That's putting a wrench in their relationship and everything. And cheating was like, I just hope that she doesn't like ruin our relationship, basically. And I agree. Now. Do I think all of y'all need to have a conversation about these finances? 100%. But his mom needs to chill. Forrest knows what he's doing. He just wants love. He just wants love. And he actually talked about his little Indonesian trip that the mom mentioned last week, from years ago and everything. You live and you learn. Everybody goes through like a naive experience where they had to give up all their money and everything, and you lose your money. Like, we've all been there. I've been there. But he just wants love, and I think if Sheena is the right one, he's gonna be the right one and everything. She'll be the right one for him. So I can't wait to see their storyline next week. But anyway, that was it. We still got more couples to meet. Like I said, we met Aviva and Stig in this episode. We didn't see Laura from last week. We didn't see Laura and Burkhan this week. I know we'll see it next week. And I know we're meeting another couple next week. I think next week we're meeting Lisa and Daniel. And then we still got to meet like Jovan and Annalyn, the married couple that never met. And then later in the season, remember, Elise from Hunt for Love will be on this season. We'll see her later in the season. So yeah. But yeah, guys, I this is my favorite spinoff. I did a poll on like what y'all's favorite 90 Days spinoff is, and majority of y'all said Happily Ever After, and second place was The Other Way, third place was 90 Day, and nobody said Before the 90. Before the 90 is my favorite. So Before the 90 is my favorite, so just saying. But anyway, guys, that is the end of my review. I'll be back on tomorrow or Tuesday to recap 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, because we got stuff to talk about too with that. But until then, I thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Please make sure you are subscribed. YouTube has been unsubscribing again and everything, so just please make sure you're subscribed. And I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see y'all again soon. Bye, y'all.